Good afternoon, my family. Today it's time to get back to homesteading and doing what I love the best. I've already spoken enough about what I am, who I'm about, and all that, so it's time to get back to homesteading. Today I'm going to do a segment on bread, and there's something in particular I caught my eye on. The Needy Homesteader and a few other places had direct me to something that I found was super amazing. So I went and did a purchase, and I purchased this bread. I call this my bread box, basically. It's called a Pullman bread pan. This thing it's a beautiful lid, and what it ends up doing is, I don't know, some of you are probably purchasing some of the bread at Walmart or whatever, and it's the sandwich loaves that are squared off and sliced. You don't have a whole lot of crust to them. That's what this makes. So I am actually going to make a loaf of this. I want to test it out. I've never done that before. I'm excited because I can literally make sourdough bread in this later on. I can make sandwich bread even with the grandkids. So I'm actually going to be making 2 loaves, but for today I'm just going to work on 1. So let's get started in the kitchen. Let's make just an ordinary sandwich bread, loaf of bread. And I did get the recipe from Needy Homesteader. I will include that, but please check her out. She's an amazing woman. I absolutely I love her. So let's get started in the kitchen and let's make some bread. Okay, y'all, so this is very simple ingredients. Now I will say I have been noticing prices. I guess Christmas was pushed up pretty quick in especially Walmart. I'm now paying attention to prices again. I have been noticing that they're starting to rise. Lettuce is rising up every day again. I guess, again, like I said, Christmas is being pushed out, so now let's push in everything else. So here we go. Do what you can right now, and in the meantime, I am going to try to make things as simplified as possible. If you can get your stocks of bread, flours right now, please do so, because I have a feeling bread will be higher than it should be, and making your own is going to be extremely beneficial, especially when you can literally freeze your bread. So this one here, I loved it because it was a very simple, basic bread recipe. So we have 1.5 cups of warm water. Now I'm going to be using my mixer for this, so I have yeah, hold on one second, I forgot an ingredient. All right, y'all, so I have 1.5 cups of warm water. I need 2 teaspoons of instant dry yeast. I'm just going to sprinkle this in here, and 2 tablespoons of sugar. Now this is not a diabetic friendly recipe, so please know that you can use sugar substitute if you are watching your sugar. For this round, I'm just going to actually use regular sugar. There's not a whole lot in this, and it'll be distributed in a 13-inch pan. So at this point, I like to proof my yeast first. I'm just going to mix this together right now. We don't have to do that though, so it wasn't said that we had to, so I'm probably just going to continue on here. So now I'm going to use 4 cups of all-purpose or bread flour. I am using bread flour. So I'm just going to go ahead and add my 4 cups of flour. A teaspoon of salt. I'm using Himalayan sea salt. 2 tablespoons of dried milk powder, and my softened butter. Now I'm going to take this to my mixer, and I'm going to mix this up until it is smooth. And once this is smooth, it'll take about, she states to mix this for, how long here? About 5 minutes. So in about 5 minutes, we shall be back to continue on how to do this. Okay, I thought I would point out, you're going to hear my mixer in the background. I thought I'd point out, I don't start my timer for kneading the bread in my mixer until I have all the ingredients incorporated together and they're fused into starting into a ball. At that point, I will start kneading my bread for the amount of time that it states. I learned this the hard way when I was under kneading every bread, because I was actually starting from the time I turned the mixer on. So please note that it is best to wait until every ingredient is incorporated, then start the kneading process. It just makes sense. I'm also going to be doing a small segment. I'm making dog treats. I have a puppy that's a corgi, and he loves his vegetables, so I'm going to be dehydrating some treats for him. I don't particularly like store-bought treats. I like the all-natural. Also, I will point this out to y'all. For all of you, they do shipping as well. There is, and I'm not making anything off this, please understand that, but I have tried their products, and my dogs have absolutely loved them. These folks are stationed out of Chicago, Illinois, or they work through the Chicago land area, and this company is called Mushy Face Cookie Company. They are amazing with having all natural dog treats. Please check them out. I will put a link in my description, in the description box, that you can check them out. The other thing I love about this company is throughout this time of all the price increase rates, this company has stayed so faithful to all of us. They keep their prices extremely reasonable where we can purchase, and y'all, they are amazing. They are very pleasant. They're down-to-earth folks, and I will encourage you, if you have pets that you cherish and you like to have all natural, please check out Mushy Face Cookie Company. Like I said, I am not making anything from this. I solely believe in what they do, and my pets have loved their treats, and they have come out now with freeze-dried cat treats, so check them out. Now we're just going to go ahead and wait for this dough to finish off until it gets nice and smooth, about 5 minutes, and we'll be back. Okay, y'all, so it has been 5 minutes, and our bread has been kneaded beautifully, actually. It's just slightly tacky, but it works fantastic. So now I'm going to take this out of here. I really don't need flour for this. There is plenty enough, but I am going to pull this up, and it comes right up, honestly. So you can, maybe I will just use a little bit of flour, because this is going to work like this, honestly. It's going to be based by your location. Some locations have more humidity than others, so you can have a drier dough or a wetter dough. I will say, if you have to, like I'm fixing to, add some more flour, don't go a whole lot. Go by tablespoons at this point, and for me, it's probably all I'm going to do, just enough to form this into a ball, and then be able to put this in here with my oil, because I'm going to allow this to rise now for about an hour. That's my next step, so I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, so now I'm just going to, like I said, I'm doing a light dusting. I do not want to add any more, really, a whole lot of flour to this. So I'm just going to fold this in itself just to make a smooth ball, just like so. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. There is just something really therapeutic about working with dough. I cannot describe it. Maybe I'm just weird, but I love working with dough. It's so, you can be so creative with it. Now I'm just going to add just a little bit of olive oil in here, just to oil my bowl. Do a light coating, and then I'm going to take my bread, turn it upside down, kind of make sure I coat that top, flip it over, and now I am going to cover it with a tea towel, and I am going to set this in a nice warm place and allow this to rise for an hour. At this point, we will come back and I will show you how I'm going to shape and form this into the Pullman bread pan. I am going to take you all the way through this so that you can see the final on it. This bread box, I kind of wonder why I didn't find it before. This could have been a huge game changer in this family. So I am definitely going to take you all the way through this. Now we're going to let it rest for an hour, and we will be back when this hour is up. Okay, y'all. So it has been an hour, and our dough has definitely doubled in size. I wanted to show you a little trick that I've learned about proofing, or during the rise of our bread, to know if it's actually done or not. I have learned if you put a small indentation into your dough, if it stays down here and does not spring back right away, if you can see that little hole right here, that means that this thing has absolutely risen to its double point and it's now ready to come out. If this springs back, it still has time to rise up. So mine is definitely staying in there, and so it is definitely ready. We're going to go ahead and pull. Oh, look how beautiful this is. Y'all, this dough is super soft too. I'm going to pull this out, and I am going to shape this into a rectangle. Now, mind you, know that my Pullman baking pan is 13 inches long, so I have to actually make this to that point. Now, I'm probably going to get a bigger board at this point, because I think this is just not going to be enough to pull my dough out. I'm just going to take this as gently as I can. I don't want to overdo things. I want to handle this with some, I don't know, respect, I guess you call it. Just enough that I don't make it super dense. I want to keep that fluffiness as much as I can, because this feels so amazing. So, well, this might work. Yeah, this might work. Now, this bread pan kind of leaves your bread a little denser, and that's the reason why it looks like sandwich bread. But from what I've seen, I'm excited to do this. I pretty much, it's a little bit bigger than it should. Let's see this side. That one might work even better, honestly. So I can literally go one or two ways with this. I can roll it up the short way all the way here, or I could roll it up the long way. I'm probably going to roll this up the long way, see how this works. If it doesn't work this time, the next time I will do it the other way. I will find out which side actually works better. So right now, I'm just going to roll this up tightly. Not super tight, but close it in. I don't want it really loose. I'm going to pinch my edges as I come along here. Pull this over. Pinch my edges. Now I'm going to have to probably bring this in some, because this is definitely too much for my pan. I'm going to take my ends and bring them in and pinch my ends on the out this side as well. Hold it over and then over again to this, so I have a clean rounded edge. And I'm going to go ahead, just kind of shape this up a little bit and put this in my pan. Now this pan here, I had read, or I watched the Kneady homesteader, and she had suggested, she got a hold of the company. They suggested not to spray these pans. So what I'm going to do, she used butter. You can use butter, you can use lard. I'm just going to use some olive oil, and I'm just going to take a little bit and brush it inside of my pan. There we go. I had to find my brush, y'all. So I'm just going to drizzle a little bit on here. And I'm just going to take this brush, and I'm just going to brush it all inside my pan. Now, they say this is a non-stick pan, but as a extra precaution, I guess, I'm just lightly doing this anyways. And then I'm going to take a paper towel afterwards and brush this in here. Okay, so I've got this with my brush, and I'm going to take a paper towel and go through this so I don't have any extras. I don't need it fully excess amount of oil in here. Yeah, that's nice. Just enough. All right. Okay, so I have lightly oiled, literally lightly oiled my pan. And now I'm going to stick this inside of here. Okay. So she patted hers down just a little bit to make it form into the pan as much as possible. And then we're going to seal this back up. Now I have my oven preheating actually at 350 degrees. So I'm going to put this on top of the stove while my oven is preheating, because this is just going to sit for about a half hour. And we're going to let it proof again before we bake this. So let's go ahead. We will see where we're at in about a half hour, where the rise is, and go from there. So we seal this up. Good. Leave it here on the stove, and we shall be back in a half hour's time to see what our bread looks like. Okay, y'all, so our half hour is up, just slightly over a half hour. I wanted to make sure that this had risen quite well. It has. Check my indentations here and see where we're standing. Okay, it looks like we are pretty good at the moment. So we're going to pop this in the oven. And at this point now, we're going to bake this for about 30-35 minutes. When this is finished, we will I will come back and we will see what this beautiful loaf of bread looks like. So we're going to pop this in the oven and we shall be back. Okay, y'all, let's see where we're at this point. I usually test the internal temp on my bread. If it is at 190 to 205, our bread will be considered finished. We're actually at 203, so this bread is actually done. So I'm going to go ahead and get this set up so that we can turn around and get this out of this pan. Okay, y'all, let's unveil this bad boy. I'm really liking what I see. Now, this pan is hot, so I am actually going to use my gloves that a beautiful subscriber had sent to me. She's one of my beginnings from over a year ago. Miss Gray, you are amazing. I thank you. I am using these with things like this, and I don't feel no heat. Mwah! I love you. So let's pop this out, y'all, and let's see how well this comes out of this pan. I've heard it does. So, oh, y'all, I have to say I'm loving this pan. Like, amazing. Look at this bread, y'all. Seriously, look at that. Perfect squares. I cannot wait till this cools down to slice this. This is absolutely amazing. I'm going to get some butter melted and we're going to coat this a little bit. I'll show you how I'm going to do this and let this cool. I'm going to take you all the way through the cutting and then taste testing, see how this turns out. So we shall be right back. Okay, y'all, so as my butter's melting here, I'm just going to make a light coating on the top and all the sides on here. I am at this moment currently going to bake another loaf of this because one is going for the grandkids for their sandwiches. So I'm going to go ahead and make another batch, and it's going to go in the freezer for me to eat periodically. If I'm going to eat bread, it's going to be homemade. I have absolutely come to the conclusion at this point, this is going to have to be purchasing another pan because this turned out far better than I ever imagined. So I will definitely be purchasing this one again. I did find this on Amazon and they can run pretty high. So just look carefully. I found mine at a deal for a little over $25. So just look for your deals. Like I said, I am going to be purchasing another one of these. This one here was just a USA pan, and I'm loving this. This I can see is going to be our new favorite bread pan on the homestead. So we're going to let this thing cool off. The reason I'm going to let this cool off, as you notice, I do check the temperature, the internal temp on my bread. In case nobody's ever told you, the best time to pull your bread from the oven, if you're undecided if it's done or not, is use an internal temp thermometer and check and see if it's at least 190 degrees, preferably 205 is your best. So I will try to get mine in between that or directly at 205. The other thing that I've learned, that I wait until the bread completely cools. There were times, however, in life that I just could not wait for that bread hot out of the oven. The one thing I did find out is you do get a lot of crumbs, and the reason for that is there's still moisture within this bread. So as you slice it, you'll find that you'll get crumbs everywhere, because that's bald, moistured bread that's falling from your knife. When you allow this to cool off, it takes the gumminess and dries it out. So you'll have a nice, clean cut, beautiful, completely cooled off bread that you can just immediately make a sandwich, and it will be nice and fluffy and not wet. So hope those help you with some tips. We're going to allow this to cool completely. We will be back for the taste testing and the cutting, and we will show you what it looks like on the inside. Alright, y'all, so I am going to go ahead and slice this bread, and I'm going to actually allow my biggest critics to test this bread out. And that will be my 3 grandsons. So I'm going to take, this is absolutely cutting beautifully. Look, that's gorgeous. Now I can actually let this cool off some more because I see that it's still warm, but this will work. Let's see if you can see it up close. Hardly no crust, just like you buy at the grocery store. This thing is actually amazing. I'm going to go ahead and cut 3 pieces total, actually, because I know that they will eat this. I have on order the cutter that will cut these evenly, because I'm not much of a bread cutter otherwise. I really do try to keep it straight, but I have to have a guide. So I've got one of those coming, but it won't be here till next week. So we'll just go ahead and get this, and then I'm going to set you up and have my little critics tell me how they think of Mama's bread, because this is actually their loaf. So we'll be right back. Alright, y'all. Now my littlest one right here, he's hard to find, so this is my littlest one. We're going to let them taste this bread, and they're going to be actually my critics, because this one was actually made for them. We'll see what they think about it. You guys go ahead and try it and let me know what you think. Based by the quietness of this, I will tell you, I know these kids, and basically they're letting me know right now they absolutely love it. You guys like it? Yeah? Do you?
Is it good, Caleb?
Is it good? Yep. Alright, y'all, so we'll be right back. Okay, and that will conclude this segment of this video. I will put the recipe in the description box below. Again, I have a video coming up, and basically we'll do some pet treats, because I'm like this. If I'm going to watch what I eat, and I'm going to avoid the preservatives too, even for my pets, I'm actually going to watch what they eat too. There's too many vet bills, and a lot of that comes down to just as much as our food into their food. And I only do so much. I do a lot of my ordering from Mushy Face Cookie Company out of the Chicago area in Illinois. So honestly, I'll just leave that in the description box. I'll leave you the link. They are a small business company, and honestly, they have been such amazing folks. Like I said, when everybody decided to skyrocket their prices, these folks have been taking cuts, y'all, and they have been staying faithful. They've been around for about 10 years now, and they are actually well known. Actually, if there's anybody in any of our viewers that are from Illinois, you can actually find them, I believe, at the Kindle Christmas markets right now. So please check them out if you see them, and tell them that Parton's Heritage Homestead said hello. So until next time, I will also be doing a sourdough segment for y'all too. I do have one where I started one, but I think what I'll do, that was like over 200 videos ago when I first began. So what I might go ahead and do is work up another video all about sourdough, because frankly it is getting to that point where yeast and bread flour and everything's going to start rising up again. When I started this sourdough starter, it was during the times where we couldn't even get yeast. So before this ever happens again, I'm going to give you a chance to get started, and I'll work with you. So I've got 2 videos of this coming up, that one for pets basically, and then one for sourdough starter. This is a homestead. We do a lot of things homemade, and you know what? I love being the old-time pioneer woman because I'm content. My family is content. We are a lot happier, we're a lot healthier, and we wouldn't have it any other way. So until next time, much love from Parton's Heritage Homestead.